As we're well into winter in the UK, the questions about what is best to keep your van warm come thick and fast. If you've not seen our previous video on all the different ways of heating your van, then you can find it up here or linked in the video notes. In that video we talk about Chinese diesel heaters, and although we hadn't tried one, we concluded that they could be good value for money and maybe worth a punt. Well, we wanted to put one through some basic tests to see how it performs and if it meets our expectations on safety. So stick with us to see how it does. Don't forget to check out our other videos on everything campervan and motorhome related, from solar to water, heating to gadgets, tyres to trips. If you like this video, please do hit the thumbs up. It really does help me to know what you like, and you can ask any questions or give feedback in the comments. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of our future videos, please hit the subscribe button, and clicking the bell will give you a notification when a new video goes live. Finally, if you do decide to hit the thumbs down, it would be great if you could also leave a comment so I know what you didn't like. The heater we are testing is a 5 kilowatt diesel heater from Banggood, and I've put a link to it in the video notes. The kit we've got has everything you need to install the heater. Let's take a look at the basic principles of how it works and the tests we're going to put it through. With the heating unit inside the van connected to your battery and either a dedicated fuel tank or the main tank of the van, the actual combustion utilises air brought in from outside the van through the air inlet, and the products of combustion are expelled outside the van through the combustion exhaust. Utilising the heat exchanger, air from inside the van is drawn through the unit, heated and then expelled back into the van. This means the oxygen within the van isn't used up, and any fumes and moisture from the combustion are expelled outside the van. So things that we want to understand are: how much power will it use, how much diesel will it use, how noisy is it going to be, and how well designed is it not to overheat the external casing. And when it comes to emissions, it's vital that the designer and manufacturer ensure that products of combustion are only expelled through the exhaust. Do bear in mind we won't be using laboratory conditions, and it's no guarantee of its safety, but it will give us an indication if the heater is working as we'd expect it to. We've already primed the unit and have had it running for a while on and off to make sure it's bedded in. So let's fire it up and see what the power consumption is. The first thing to happen is the glow plugs come on, and I'm going to speed this bit up because they take some time to build up to taking the full amount of current. But they peak after 2 minutes at around 9 amps. The next thing to happen is the fuel pump kicks in, which you can hear ticking. Now, just under 4 minutes in, we can see that the glow plugs switch off and that power consumption drops down to about an amp. As the fans accelerate as the heater gets hotter, you can see that the amps build back up to around 4 amps. We're now going to set the heater to its lowest level, which is 1.6 oscillations of the fuel pump per second. We'll now hear the fan slow down as the pump slows down. The current is between 0.8 of an amp and 1.5 amps each time the pump triggers. Now let's take a look at the amount of fuel that it's using in this state. Extrapolating this out, it comes to around 200 millilitres per hour on its lowest setting. When it comes to noise, at 1 metre away it's around 51 to 54 decibels. Let's now turn it up to its highest power of 5.5 oscillations. Chance to speed up to maximum speed, we can see it's using around 4 amps of current. And the fuel is going down quite a bit quicker, which works out at around 500 millilitres per hour. And now running at full power, it's also quite loud, over 10 decibels higher at 65 to 66. We've now had the heater running at full power for around 30 minutes, and let's have a quick look with the thermal imaging camera to see what the casing temperature is like. As would be expected, that exhaust pipe is pretty hot at over 120 degrees. But checking all over the casing, you can see the maximum temperature is around 50 degrees, which isn't going to be starting any fires. Now let's take a look at the emissions. We're going to do 3 tests. The first will have the measuring instruments checking the case for leaks. We're going to concentrate any leaks by sealing the case off from outside air. Second, we're going to test the heated air expelled from the heater to make sure there are no exhaust gases mixing with it. Again, we'll concentrate this in a container. And finally, we'll do a quick check on the exhaust gases themselves. To avoid overloading and contaminating the instruments, we won't be concentrating this by containing it. The 3 instruments we'll be using are a carbon monoxide detector, an air quality analyzer which detects aldehydes, volatile organic compounds and particulate matter, and a combustible gas detector that will show any levels of hydrocarbons or benzene. All 3 meters have been allowed to acclimatise before the test, but once the heater's up and running, we will add the covering to contain the air. Despite some slight variations, probably due to the heating of the plastic on the unit, the levels of all our measured compounds stay well within safe limits. Now repeating the test, this time testing the quality of the heated air blown out of the unit, gives us very similar results. In our final test, we allow the combustion exhaust gases to flow onto the test instruments, and almost immediately we see increases in formaldehyde, volatile organic compounds and particulate matter at 2.5 and 10 micrometer thresholds. Interestingly, both carbon monoxide and flammable gases do not seem to be present, suggesting good quality and thorough combustion. So overall, I have been pleasantly surprised with the quality and performance of this Chinese diesel heater. This will now be going to one of our subscribers to install in their van to give it a long-term and real-life test, and we'll report back to you on how that goes. Thanks for watching our video, and as always, if you have any questions or feedback, please pop them in the comments below. If you find the video useful, please like, share and consider subscribing.